What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, loan officers, real estate agents, appraisers, friends, family, enemies? Welcome to the Monday market update, where we update you on all things market related, not necessarily Monday related today. I'm your host, Sean Grapevine, coming to you live from the chilly confines of my studio here in Atlanta, Georgia. The city's in chaos. It's 27 degrees outside, and it rained yesterday. So just absolute madness here. The lines at the grocery store. It's a wonder that I can even see through the craziness to be here with you today. I am joined here today by a man who needs no introduction, but who will have to suffer through one anyway. From Kansas City, if he is the Travis Kelce of UMortgage, then Jerome Powell is his Taylor Swift. Like George Brett storming out of the dugout to loudly and angrily cry foul when accused of using too much pine tar, my co-host defends our Loan Originators locked loans the way only a 1980s steroid-fueled first baseman could. He's the terror of the T-bill, the MBA of the MBS. He's the guy who gave the GSEs their diminutive nicknames to put them in their place, especially you, Ginny May. He's the Helios of the HELOC, the discipler of the DSCR, and the locksmith of the lock desk. Welcome, Jon Arnsmeyer.
It's good to be here.
How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing great. It's -2 in Kansas City.
So we're like kind of same place, you know,
same ballpark. Yeah, totally. Yeah. 27 times 2.
Are you a Royals fan?
I am.
Did George Brett play for the Royals? I couldn't remember what it was.
He did. He did. He was the third baseman. He's an icon in the city.
Yeah, he's built like a first baseman.
He is. Yeah, he's seen some life. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and you know the incident to which I'm referring.
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Oh, God, if you guys haven't seen George Brett storming out of the third base dugout in whatever the name of that stadium was, in the late 80s, early 90s, what's it called?
It was the Yankees Stadium.
Was it?
It was, yeah. It was the ALC. I believe it. I don't remember what it was anyway. It was against the Yankees. So there you go.
It's like the angriest you'll ever see a person. So it's pretty entertaining. But he really felt like he was defending his honor there, because he got kicked out of the game, not just like right.
He did, and actually, I would say all of Kansas City. That's actually how we all look whenever we have to go to our cars in this cold weather. We're just raging. It's literally the same expression. We just come running out, just angry at the world. So there you go.
I can see that. Well, anyway, we've got a lot to catch you up on. I know you were out of the office last week in Puerto Rico, a boys' trip, just reenacting The Hangover 2. And well, let me clue you in on some stuff. CPI came out yesterday, or last week rather. Wasn't exactly what we hoped. CPI was a bit higher than forecast. I mean, still we're threes across the board right now, and our 6-month annualized is in the 2s, I believe. So it's nothing to worry about, but certainly didn't help bond pricing. Jobless claims came out same day. Also fewer jobless claims. So it's one of those good news for people or bad news for people who like good news situations, and that kind of moved the needle a little higher for bonds. And then we were saved, which keeps on happening. This is the second week in a row where like a minor player sort of saves the day in bonds. I think bond traders are looking for any reason to be optimistic when producer price, the PPI, producer price index, came in significantly lower, deflationary, in fact, significantly lower than expected, and sort of saved our bacon. But yeah, like I said, it's like couldn't get it done with CPI, couldn't get it done with jobless claims, and then PPI came and was like, "Oh, don't worry, the inflation's over." So, am I reading this right, that the traders are looking for any reason to find good news?
Yes, I think yes. I'll leave it there. Yes, I think they want to keep the gravy train going.
And yeah, I mean, it's not like we're having a crazy rally. You see
right.
at 4 pretty much even right now, which is certainly higher than it was last week and the prior week and even the last 2 weeks of December. But we haven't had really any good news uh, since then.
Mm-hmm.
We've had all our big numbers have been a little bit worse than expected, and the numbers just have
Mm-hmm.
been worse. So that definitely seems to be trading in a range until the. I mean, it looks like the bond party is just like they're ready to get it kicked off. They're just waiting on that one big piece of news.
I would wholeheartedly agree. And the bonds are sitting just above 4, but even then, you look at it, it's like, is that well? Let's just back up, Sean. We had a crazy rally over the last few months. The stock market was up, bond market was down. I mean, everything was moving in our favor, and now we're just kind of reevaluating and saying, "Hey, let's catch a breath because we're gonna have a good year ahead." And so, but I think that's where all the headwinds are moving. But again, sometimes you just got to slow down a little bit.
Well, hopefully for your sake, they don't slow down too much because you and I have some significant money on the line for our bets. I think that you bet somewhere that we would end the month in the 3.7s, and I think I said I can't remember what I said.
You were the low 3/8s.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
You were roll it back, everyone.
I got it written down somewhere. I really thought I sent it to you as a message. I don't see it.
You did.
But yeah, we'll roll back the tape and see how right I was when we get down to it. What do we have on tap for this week in terms of news?
Yeah, so I would say number one, we've got housing starts and building permits, and also retail sales. So retail sales is going to tell us like, hey, how's spending going on? But then also housing starts is the housing market that continued cooling, is that still going on? So those two pieces are going to go hand in hand. So it's like just like last week with CPI and the producer price index. It's like retail sales might be up a little bit. We don't know. I mean, but then housing can save it. So they're going to work hand in hand.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It's one of those. These are the kind of numbers. Kind of a boring week where it's like the market can find any reason to ignore retail sales and
Right.
Definitely a housing market starts. I just feel like it's such a derivative. It's like the number is a result of so many other macroeconomic factors, not so much a leading indicator. But we do have the 10-year note auction on Thursday that always causes a little spike or a little dip. But yeah, it should be pretty chill week this week, and then we've got GDP next week. I love GDP; it's always fun. And it looks like the forecast is that we just go from a 4.9% to a 1.8% annualized growth in GDP. So if that's anywhere close to right, that should cement in your average bond trader's head like we're on the right track. If we see GDP in the 2s, we might be in for a couple bad days. Other than that, I think GDP is our big one. We've got jobless claims, and then we've got PCE as well, the Fed's so-called favored
that's right
thing measure that they never actually favor or pay attention to. Or
right. And I would whenever we have these chats, I always like to add a few other pieces to kind of keep in mind that could move markets. Is China's GDP comes out, I believe, tomorrow, Thursday. And then also oil prices. We've got a little bit of a conflict going on. And so, these are things that aren't specific to the U.S. economy, but they do impact the U.S. economy because, as we've continually discussed, the world is intertwined. And so sometimes things just, we might have headwinds, but something might, give us a haymaker. So just something to keep in mind.
Sure. Well, while we're keeping that in mind, and I would say, it sounds like both of us are agreeing that bonds are going to trade in a range unless there's some remarkable news in the next fortnight or so. My guess is, are you locking, floating if you're a loan officer?
So I'm just putting on my lock hat after this vacation. I think, again, this is another great opportunity to get those things locked in. And the Davos Forum, the focus is on global uncertainty and trying to, rally the troops. And so, again, a great opportunity, I think, to look for any opportunity for that bond market to keep working in our favor. So I'm going to say, hey, this is probably another great day to get off the boat, get off the float boat, just because we could have a little bit of a channel that we're going to be in for a while.
Isn't the Davos Forum? Isn't that's like where like the world's supervillains meet? It's like, and like Tony Stark is there. It's
right.
And
yeah,
so it's like the Illuminati.
Yeah, it's a mashup between Bond and Austin Powers. With everyone takes their own private, they talk about making the world a better place.
They talk about climate change, but bring their private jet.
Yeah, the private jets. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's I mean, you get that many people in the room, there's going to be some conversations.
Sure. So what about? I know you're fresh off the plane, but Mr. Arnsmeyer here landed at what time this morning?
I landed in Kansas City at 1 a.m.
Wow, what a legend! What a legend!
Right.
Landed at 1 a.m. It's are you guys an hour behind us?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so it's 9:13 there. Guys hasn't had any sleep. He's joining us. He's just getting on top of his day. Is there anything new and exciting in the world of UMortgage capital markets that you want the viewers to know? Any lenders, products, processes, partners coming out that we should know about?
Nothing today, but let's stay tuned for next week.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You promise you'll have something for us next week?
I think I'll bring some heat next week.
Just like your predecessor, you're very mum's the word. You're very careful about what you tried out, which is fine. But I just feel like if you're 15 minutes into the Monday market update on a Tuesday, you deserve to be thrown a little bone. But it's okay. It's all right. As long as you promise that you've got something for us next week.
There we go.
Okay. Well, you guys heard it here first. Not much in the way of big market movers this week. I would say, being an expert in your field is one of the keys to winning the trust, credibility, and authority with your real estate agent. So keep your eyes on the news. It's important to know what is moving the markets any given week. This week, it's going to be, like we said, we've got jobless claims as usual. It will be interesting to talk to your real estate agents about housing starts and building permits. And then next week, we've got some bigger numbers like GDP and PCE, which should be super interesting. Jobless claims is always interesting because it happens every week. It's a very you get a lot of information about that. So you should always have something available to talk to your agents with about so that you seem like the expert you are. So if you have any questions about any of these measures or anything, feel free to put them in the comments. We're happy to take those questions and turn them alchemy-like into answers on the next call. John, did we miss anything?
No, I mean, I just missed UMortgage and having these chats.
Wow. Well, welcome back. Go get yourself a cup of coffee, sit down, and start locking some loans.
There we go. Let's do it.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thanks. See ya.